My name is Bethany Meredith, and first want to tell you about my personal challenge in life. So, genetically, my family actually suffers from depression, and most of them take medication for it. But my dad has chosen a life of happiness every day, even though he has the same misfortunate disorder. About 7 years ago was my first depressive episode, and it lasted about 3 to 4 years. It was strange because I didn't really know what was going on. I'd always been this joyous person, and I'd always brought happiness to other people, and all of a sudden, I had to force a smile on my own face. But I learned from my dad to choose a life of happiness as he did. And now, although I still and always will have depression, I can control it. Some days I have to remind myself to eat or get out of bed, but I've learned to overcome it through my adventures in life and just enjoying what I have. The biggest thing that keeps me going, though, is bringing hope to others and helping them to realize that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel, just as I have learned through my own experiences. This brings me to the biggest project I think I will have ever done. So when I was 12, I started to write a song on the piano. I didn't know what it was called or why I was writing it, but I knew that it was important. I finished about a year and a half ago when I understood joy in a deeper sense than before. I named the song New Beginnings because much of the song was written through my difficult years. But it was finished when I experienced joy in my life again. And this song taught me more than I could ever explain. I learned about trusting in God. I learned about the beauty and honesty of music. I think the most challenging part was writing something that I knew was meaningful, but didn't yet know what that meaning was. I've learned from this song to never give up because everyone has a future and everyone deserves that future. This is the reason that I think Front Row is the place for me. I understand brokenness and loss of hope, but I also understand the joy of overcoming that weakness and understanding that a future does exist. I can proudly say that my future will be full of adventures and joy because I refuse to allow my disorder to control my life. I will live in the front row, making the best of what life brings me. And I want to bring that same feeling and experience to others. Now, I do understand that this job isn't just about the people, but about the event itself and being able to bring that together. Ever since I was a little girl, I have always been very organized and love planning events. I used to have lists for my mom a few months before my birthday. One would have the grocery list, one would have the party list, and one would have the list of all my friends that were invited, the time the party started and ended, as well as any games that I wanted at the party. I would have it organized from beginning to end. Honestly, my husband thinks that I'm a little OCD, but I think that might be a plus for this job. It's important that these events are perfect for the people, and they deserve that perfection. They deserve that event of their lifetime. So currently, what I'm challenged with is a group of teenagers. I'm a new youth leader at my church and have learned that it's very intimidating to be thrown into a group of kids. I want so much to be able to pour into them, but I'm struggling with just speaking to them. I'm learning to socially open up to larger groups as sometimes it can be a little scary. But I keep pushing myself because I know that I am needed there, and over time, I hope that I can become a big sister to some of these kids. Sometimes it takes time, but I also have to remember to be adventurous and just get to know them. About a year ago, I decided to take my bridesmaids to Seattle for a weekend trip. it was my treat to them, as I didn't want to be a bridezilla. The girls didn't know each other super well, so the purpose of the weekend was to get them more acquainted and to search for a dress that they would all three wear again after the wedding. I honestly didn't think I would change anything about that weekend. It was so much fun. The girls found dresses that they all felt comfortable and beautiful in, and I loved them too. Also, we had a blast being together. It was like old friends reuniting again after like a decade kind of thing. So it took me a lot of thinking to decide what my dream front row experience would be. And I decided that I would love to see the Pretty Reckless and hopefully meet Taylor Momsen. I love music a lot. It's practically my life. And sometimes I can be picky about artists. But something about Taylor Momsen, her lyrics are just so true to my soul. And honestly, I like music that's a little more edgy. But mainly, I just love music that really speaks to me. So thank you for watching my video, and I hope to hear from you soon. Have a good day.